Итак, мы продолжаем проходить игру GreedFall. Сейчас мы находимся в городе Сирена. Посмотрим, что у нас по заданиям, и будем двигаться уже к острову. Так. Сначала пойдем сдадим то задание, которое уже выполнили. Может быть, еще что-нибудь найдем из сундучков.
Мы же тогда сохранились, да, сами?
Да.
Да, сундучки здесь, конечно, очень удобно спрятаны.
В каждом закоулке по сундучку,
да.
И они подсвечиваются, что очень удобно.
Игра, кстати, очень напоминает мне Fable.
Да? Не знакома с этой игрой.
Очень жалко, надо будет тоже ее потом пройти.
Надо будет попробовать, да. Тут, кстати, оказывается, несколько спутников потом будет.
И все с тобой общаются нормально, да?
Ну, я не знаю насчет этого, просто тут высветилось, что можно будет собирать группу по наиболее подходящей по ситуации.
Your Excellency.
Lady de Sade.
I tracked down your man near the Coin Guard barracks.
Finally. Did you capture him?
Let's just say that I put an end to his activities. His reputation in Serene is forever tarnished. Matters turned out a little more complicated than anticipated. He managed to slip through our fingers.
Once again. That man is part eel.
We followed his trail to the Coin Guard Tavern, but he had already escaped. All the same, you have nothing to fear. He will never step foot in Serene again.
We'll eventually catch up with him and deliver the punishment that his crimes deserve. Governor Burhan will be happy to learn that such an amiable legate will soon cross the shores of Tir Fredi. Thank you for your help, Excellency, and allow me to offer you this modest gift.
Короче, все остались довольны.
I need to be going.
Никого не обидели в итоге, да?
Goodbye.
Ну и очень хорошо, не хотелось бы портить отношения с другими странами. Просто из-за алхимика, который находится в опале своего же государства. Нет, ну понятное дело, что...
Может, на концовку там повлияет как-то.
Может быть. Но пока все нормально. Так, пойдем-ка вот здесь вот пройдемся. Здесь мы не ходили, еще может быть что-то валяется, или какой-нибудь враг нас попытается напасть.
Надо по вопросикам пройти по всем.
Мы все равно до них дойдем. Я пока беру.
Нифига себе заначка.
Понимаешь, все бы улочки оббегать, везде бы собрать сундучки, но будем двигаться пока по этим, может быть, все и возьмется. Так, мы, кстати, через стену можем перелезать.
Нифига себе жирный. Мне кажется, или тебя напарник больше урона наносит, чем ты.
Может быть. У него меч двуручный.
Ну да. Что, почему тебе светится?
Таким образом показывает, что накопилось для суперудара.
Понял.
Удобно очень.
Да, согласен.
Смотри, боеприпасов нашли. Потом посмотрим, что нам выпадало по этим. Так, ага, нам вот туда надо идти. Ну, пойдем. О, смотри. А, нет, мне показалось, что этот. Оказывается. Так, поговорим с поставщиком.
How might I be of service?
You can start by explaining to me why you refuse to honor the orders agreed upon with the guard.
There's been a misunderstanding, madam. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price
Кто
has
тоже
gone up
болеет?
since.
Тут все болеют.
Do with it.
Просто кто-то в меньшей степени, кто-то в большей.
If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, madam. I'm just an agent, and I'm only obeying orders.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendants seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end, whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain, it's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
Following orders. Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agreed to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You were demanding a second payment, but refused to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing me to madness. You understand now why I'm asking for your help?
I don't think you understand who you were dealing with. Perhaps I failed to present myself properly. Lady de Sade, niece of the Prince d'Orsay and legate of the Congregation of Merchants. During our conversation, you explained to me that your master forced you to commit a crime. That's regrettable, especially as you will be considered his accomplice in extortion and theft. You know as well as I that the congregation does not tolerate such illegal activities.
But I'm only obeying orders.
That's a shame. Well, as orders are the only language you seem to understand, I order you to return the guard the merchandise without delay, unless you'd rather your master is hung and that you finish your days in prison.
As you request, my lady. I shall go immediately and ask that these crates be delivered to the attendant.
Now that's a wise decision.
Thank you. I was beginning to think this would never end. You're certainly honoring your new title. Bravo! The quartermaster must be expecting us.
Так.
Еще не плакал, что с микрофоном сделать?
М?
Что с микрофоном сделать?
В смысле?
Ну, почему-то какой-то шум постоянно на фоне на видео. Заметила?
Возможно, ловит работу процессора, нет?
Не знаю. Это и не должно, в принципе.
Ну,
О, слушай, ты почти 3 уровня. Сейчас так тебе нравится внешне?
Гарри, я, конечно, любитель более ярких игрушек, но, в принципе,
но
меня все устраивает. Да. Знаешь, мне что...
Интуитивно понятно, я бы сказал.
Да, ты прав. Распахнула дверь, чуть ли не с ноги. Ничего нигде нельзя взять. Вроде.
Lady de Sade, I presume. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Yes. We were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Tier 3D as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well, now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.
Короче, заставляет еще теперь контрабандой этого груза заниматься. Потому что официальное оформление этого груза займет целую вечность, а этот...
Решили втихую провести, да?
Мне не могут приказывать, так как я статусом выше намного, а моему вот этому другу, напарнику, да, приказывают провести этот груз. Ну, как бы мы его сейчас задание бегаем выполняем. Помогаем как бы ему, понимаешь? Вот. Район. Вот некоторые сундучки сами берутся, а некоторые приходится брать. Интересно, в чем разница?
Наверное, мы сверху что-то даже поэтому нас выбирают.
Тут территория другой фракции. Да, нам...
Можно по голове получить,
Да.
да?
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd be best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's niece. All is in order. We will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship. Not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Laura.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates, after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 3D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is going to have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office. You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
A couple of heretics are planning on leaving Serene. The ambassador of Ptolemy has entrusted me with the job of capturing them.
Happy to see that you trust me enough to seek my counsel in the affair. Just so happens that I heard someone talking about the couple. The Cardinal's men are far from discreet. They're making quite some ruckus, asking to search our warehouse. We, of course, refused entry. Only the Nords have access. I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I'm certain your potential stowaways aren't far. But we won't allow you to make a search to grab them. Not officially, at least.
What do you mean?
That discretion and malice are often more useful than titles and words.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself.
Нет, у нас еще куча заданий.
Он тебе предложил уже выйти, да?
Нет. Так, сначала пойдем Константина найдем. Хотя, это основное задание, может сначала тогда с Юнги начать?
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 death winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Thank you, Laura. I need to be going.
Так, посмотрим, где, что еще. Угу. Пойдем внутрь.
Good day. Someone told me that you were a friend of Jonas, the young cabin boy who was gone missing.
That's right, yeah. You look...
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, He drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guess, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
I need to be going. Farewell.
Strange story, this is.
Something isn't right here. I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
Да, непростая задачка. Посмотрим, куда нас приведет маркер. В таверну. Там же, по-моему, и нашего кузена надо искать.
Good day, tavern keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age, hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes, quite the talker?
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'll be obliged. If not, you'll need to...
Попробуем сначала починить.
I need to think about my options.
Походу, Константин разломал половину мебели у трактирщика. Драку затеял. Ну, нам надо его найти для начала.
It looks as if it's fixable. I've seen worse. We'll need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
And there you have it. You'd never guess they were once broken.
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
Yes, just like new. Or nearly.
That does indeed look like fine work. You know what you're doing.
I would hope. Can you tell me where I can find my cousin now?
Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his... Anything else?
I am looking for a naught. A young cabin boy who has been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A naught, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
I need to be off.
Надеюсь, нам не придется играть в карты с заядлым игроком.
Если честно, я вообще не люблю.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No, have no fear about that.
Даже в
It's for a
Библии ни разу
different
не
reason that
написано.
I'm here. I'm looking for a naught that disappeared 2 days ago after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring.
Или мим.
I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him, if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, my lady, you're in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would
Так.
he gain from lying?
Посмотрим, что у нас теперь по заданиям, что близко. Константин. Похититель. Склады. В 3 разных местах. Пойдем сначала за Константином. Ближе всего. Тем более, что, судя по всему, его жизнь на волоске висит. Не хватало нам еще, чтобы его убили до того, как мы отплывем. Он еще нам за стол должен.
That vulture of a tavern master was right. It is Constantine's voice. It's coming from the floor above.
Sounds as if he's locked up.
And I have a feeling they're expecting Be careful. The slightest itchy word to these brutes will have them drawing blades to scratch it.
Negotiation may be the solution. As you say, this breed of brutes won't spit on ransom money.
What a waste. I'd rather sneak around them than give half a coin to these seedy fellows.
Так. Ну, раз в обход, значит, через низ пойдем.
It's not possible just now. It's not possible just now. It's blocked.
Значит, не получится в обход. Только прямиком. Ладно, значит, выкуп будем платить. Ой, потом с этого придурка я спрошу за все. И за выкуп. И за все. Так. А как скрытное передвижение? Ну-ка, сейчас посмотрим управление. Скрытное передвижение С. Да, фактически с двумя справился, можно так сказать. Можно было, конечно, мимо них подкрасться, но мне что-то не вышло. То есть, в принципе, есть куча вариантов прохождения одного и того же места. Так. Так. Кучу всего мы находили. Нам надо будет потом к этому сходить. Торговцу. Так. Так, там еще была одна комната. Сначала внизу сходим, потому что Константин, я так поняла, наверху был. Так. А мы тут и зельки понаходили.
Мне кажется, здесь у тебя в итоге нужды в деньгах не будет в итоге. Сейчас понаходишь.
Дело в том, что, видишь, там потом снаряжение же еще надо будет покупать. Мне кажется, враги потом будут только сильнее.
Да, там тем более, по-моему, не только люди будут.
Вот, это просто тем более, да, там потом еще и не люди будут. У нас на самом деле снаряжение так себе сейчас. Так, сразу все осматриваем. Уже 3 ключа нашли от его камеры. Так, это, наверное, его камера. Сначала откроем то, что не камера. Мне кажется, было бы все гораздо тяжелее проходить, если бы мы проходили на более высоком уровне сложности. Тут, наверное, было бы куча бандитов.
Мне кажется, были бы сильнее.
Думаешь?
Больше, да.
Просто тут куча зелени выпадала.
Well,
this has been monumentous, gentlemen, but I have more important things to attend to. An island to govern, treaties to sign, riches to expedite, and a demanding father.
Он тоже на Астерия очень похож.
Constantine, it's me!
My fair cousin! Oh, my lucky star! Always there to pull me out of my fight.
I do what I can.
Вот он больше похож.
Your father wasn't pleased by your absence this morning.
Да.
About anything when it comes to me? You know what he thinks of me.
He cares about you. I know that. He appointed you governor, didn't he?
He is ridding himself of a source of constant disappointment. Enough said. Today we set sail for adventure.
По-моему, нам придется его нянчить постоянно.
Я тебе говорю же, Астерия. Хорошо, хоть он кровь не пьет.
Так.
Давай очко дали какое-нибудь.
Подожди. Выбрать другого персонажа. Ага, мы даже можем управлять его этими.
Мы можем за них играть.
Так, это его.
Прикольно. Играть с ним можно?
Так. Так. Что-то еще нужно? Так, одежду мы ему вернули. Посмотрим, что у нас еще осталось. А, он теперь с нами будет ходить, судя по всему.
О, у нас теперь большая банда.
Теперь у нас еще один спутник. Нам надо еще кучу вопросов решить на самом деле.
Очень здорово.
Вот, будет еще один помощник в этом деле. Вот видишь? Ага, сообщить капитану, что мы готовы к отплытию. Если мы это сделаем, мы уплывем уже. А нам надо еще...
Все квесты будут сначала. Все вопросы оплатить обязательно. Еретики.
Контора капитана порта. А, у нас еще 2 задания к меню. Так что мы пока не торопимся к капитану Васко. Нам надо сначала спасти Юнгу. И потом еще груз. И с еретиками еще разобраться точно. То есть 3 задания получается. Груз, еретики, Юнга. Так, тут мы ходили, пойдем-ка вот здесь. Может, что еще попадется. Так, видимо, и здесь мы ходили. Может, я что-то особо не вижу. Так. Так, и вверх. Дальше. Так, туда.
Might I help you, my lady?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Отшила тебя?
Нет, сказала, что... Самого этого нету, есть супруга.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lady de Sardet, and to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We are looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Походу, это их ребенок.
Don't you see, Your Excellency?
Да, Юнга — это их сын.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it is their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Так, нам поговорить с самим мальчиком, но она нам не скажет, где их сын. Надо еще поискать. Мне кажется, сынишка из дома сбежал.
Madam?
Constantine d'Orsay, future governor of Fredi. I'm enchanted, Captain. I am eager to board your ship.
Enchanted as well, Your Highness. I hope you enjoy your voyage.
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nauts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naut. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
How I would like my father to be implicated in this sordid business.
Your Highness, I'm happy to see you. Your absence this morning worried both your father and me.
Come now, Sir de Corsilio. My father may have been angry, outraged, or disappointed, but he's never worried about me. I am sad to have caused you any worry, though. Would you believe that I was rotting away in a sinister jail, guarded by thugs ready to kill me? Though still seeing double from last night's drink, I was preparing an ingenious escape plan when, ta-da! My fair cousin jumped up out of nowhere and saved me. I'm quite the fairy tale damsel in distress.
You might have refrained from the company of bandits the night before such an important departure.
Take away the risk and halve the pleasure, de Corsillon. It is the salt of life.
I fear that some of my teachings have been misunderstood. But you wanted to ask me something, de Sade?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child, due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son in an agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides.
Короче, отец парнишки продал его еще нерожденного, заключил договор, что он отдаст своего нерожденного еще на тот момент сына за торговые перевозки, разбогател на этом. А теперь, когда парнишка вырос, выкрал его. Хотя его вырастили вот эти моряки. Также эти моряки забирают детей, если они были рождены на их судах. То есть во время плавания. Если, например, беременная рожает на их корабле, этот ребенок принадлежит их народу. Вот этому.
То есть правило, конечно.
Но, тем не менее, такие договоренности. Теперь, если сейчас парнишка не вернется на корабль, будет нарушена договоренность и прилетит нашей стране всей.
Надо вернуть.
Milady,
Будешь возвращать?
we were given orders to wait here with the merchandise.
You're going to have to wait. We need to find a way to clear the access to the warehouse.
Где парнишка?
Вот нам и предстоит выяснить и вернуть его любой ценой на корабль, иначе будет плохо.
А ты можешь убирать или нельзя убирать?
Пока нам надо его найти. Там придется решать. Либо нам каким-то образом улаживать с моряками этот вопрос. Может быть, выкупить его как-то можно. Во-первых, надо посмотреть, что парнишка сам хочет.
Да. Он, наверное, привык уже с ними жить.
This document mentions another property. A warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take
Так, на склады. Пишет вообще, что освободить парнишку. То есть его удерживают силой все-таки. Посмотрим. Если он хочет остаться на берегу, значит будем решать с моряками, как его выкупить. Вот. Заключить новый договор на его жизнь. В конце концов. Если же...
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
A handful of underlings don't scare us away. Right, cousin?
Let's just try to remain discreet.
Ну, спасибо.
Lady de Sardet, what are you doing here?
I have come looking for your son. The Naughts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Naughts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine? I looked into the contract that binds you to the Naughts. It was indeed you who ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble. I never would have signed it if I had known.
You should have thought of that before. Breaking the contract could have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Naughts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness would be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in this story. Don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You are not leaving me with a choice.
Very well. Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Naughts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.
Короче, она отдает парнишку.
Отдает?
Да.
Отлично. А он что хочет?
Посмотрим, мы еще с ним не говорили.
Ну, такая вот дилемма, да?
Извини меня, он сам заключил этот договор. Надо было читать условия договора внимательней.
Он, наверное, знал, думал, не прокатит.
Подземелья какие-то вообще, капец. Так.
Скорее пойдешь.
Его, наверное, выкрасть можно было.
Ну да.
Ну, знаешь, лучше в открытую поговорить.
Слушай, игра-то вариативная. Отчасти.
Посмотрим, что он скажет.
My name is de Sardet. I'm legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes, even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seems so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old.
Ему было 5 лет, когда его забрали.
Find me, capture me and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that.
Он не в восторге.
My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents. That is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to your ship. I will see you there.
Короче, он пошел прощаться с матерью и возвращаться на корабль. Он не хочет с родителями жить. Он считает, что они его бросили, так как он в последний раз их видел, когда ему было 5 лет.
Я сказал, наплюкаешь.
Да. Даже грустненько. А отец козел.
Интересно, а чего он на самом деле ожидал? Что он скажет, все, я к отцу хочу, с отцом хочу жить?
Наверное. Нет, просто они ожидали, что корабль уплывет, они наладят с ним отношения потихоньку. И все будет окей. Не говори. По крайней мере, видишь, тут Так, теперь пошли с нашей контрабандой, не контрабанда, разбираться. Иначе нашему прилетит. Еще один смычок.
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
Так.
Так, а там далеко до завершения этого квеста?
Так, нам сказали немножко переодеться, чтобы не так выделяться. Так, сохранимся на всякий случай, у нас много чего. Какой квест ты имеешь в виду?
Возвращению.
Нет, мы уже другой квест проходим. Нам, помнишь этому сундуки контрабандой? Мы хотим пробраться и подделать судовой журнал, чтобы они не были контрабандой.
I'll just need to find the proper ingredients, but it's doable.
Where is the manifest to be found?
I've already been to the port authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs.
Так, не то.
Greenblood, do you need something?
I must leave you.
Все сундуки обшарили. Ну, по крайней мере, тут не говорится, что это воровство.
Может, кто-то забыл.
Here is the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
Так. Это просто, чтобы не выделяться сейчас, одеваюсь под матроса. Потом будем выбирать. То, что нам по характеристикам больше подходит. Пока так. Так. Сейчас. Ясно. Ну-ка, подожди. Пошли к торговцу. Может, у него есть то, что нам нужно.
Welcome! It's such a pleasure to see you again. Have you seen anything to your liking? What might I help you with?
Сейчас. Посмотрим, получится у нас сделать или нет. Есть такая возможность или нет? Ясно. А ну-ка, погоди. А если посмотреть... К моему возвращается. Так. Уровень 5. А у нас какой уровень? Уровень 3. Блин. 2 уровней не хватает. Ладно, значит, придется каким-то образом хитрить. Пробивание брони. Сейчас. Да, у меня улучшение. Так уровень-то поднялся, уже 3. Дело в том, что, видишь, избавиться от стражи у склада можно было им снотворного в это подмешать. Науку, да. Ее у нас нету. Мы вместо этого взяли взлом.
Слушай, это настолько влияет на
да.
геймплей, офигеть.
Теперь придется каким-то образом уговаривать стражу уйти с пути, с дороги.
Слушай, молодцы разработчики.
Подкупать их, значит, придется тратить деньги. Ладно, посмотрим. Либо обходной путь искать.
Hello? What can I do for you?
We're your replacements. You're dismissed.
Finally! We were starting to grow moss. Courage, me hearties. The path is clear. We should notify the men. They need all the time they can get.
Так.
Well now, can we get going?
The way is clear. It's time to get going.
Do your best to be quick and quiet about it. You won't have much time to move at all.
Don't you be worrying now. We're off.
The warehouse is at the end to the right there. You can't miss it.
Move out. Quick steps.
Так. Все сделали. Надеюсь, нам больше не дадут таких заданий. Слишком муторно. Последнее задание осталось, а там уже выезжать будем. Что именно? Последнее задание? Да по времени все нормально, еще есть время. Давай выполним быстро. Ну. Чтобы там уже просто начать снимать этот...
Отъезд,
да?
Да. Давай последний.
С еретиками. О, вот они как раз.
Who is there?
May the illuminated save us. Did the smuggler send you?
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison. But reveal to me your hiding place.
Oh, the traitor!
Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Thélème so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it would provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of Saint Matthias? The one who returned to Thélème after traveling with his master?
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Teofredi, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of Saint Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Teofredi is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, St. Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth. which convinced St. Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white, and there is no doubt about it. The original was written
Понятно.
in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could. Forget what you have discovered, perhaps?
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the
Да,
sacred
бедные люди.
texts of St. Lucius.
Походу, этих тоже
We were
надо
even
отпускать.
ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
Ты смог прочитать, да?
No purpose. It's our lives they are after.
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
I see. Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
I could have a word with the good Dr. Zaheen, the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. If he can be persuaded to offer you asylum, you would be saved.
Your goodness honors you. May the illuminated forever light your path.
If I manage to convince the ambassador, you'll need to refrain from that sort of blessing. Stay here. I'll be back.
Короче, ну ты понял, да, за что их?
Нет, расскажи. Я буду тебя...
Смотри, короче, они из Телемы. У Телемы есть, ну это которая религиозная вот это вот.
Короче, инфордан с теми, которые...
Да, вот слушай теперь. У них есть некая рукопись, написанная учеником этого самого святого. Так вот, они изучали эту рукопись, и как вот религия это утверждает, святой назвал тот остров, на который мы едем, Эдемом, то есть раем, вот, и остался в нем, ну, на острове, то бишь. А в рукописи написано учеником этого самого, что тот услышал голос из-под земли, который уговорил этого святого остаться на острове. То есть, фактически, он слышал голос не Бога, а демона. А про Эдем вообще ничего не было сказано в рукописи.
Понятно.
Вот, они хотели это опубликовать, но за ними пришла инквизиция. Они уже по-всякому, что мы отказываемся от своих слов, мы никогда не видели эту рукопись и так далее, но за ними даже до сюда добрались, в другое государство. Вот. То есть, фактически, людей только за то, что они сказали правду. Вот, и мы вызвались как бы поговорить с послом враждующей, ну, научной вот этой вот страны, поговорить, чтобы тот дал им убежище.
Да, надо ответить.
Вот я сейчас к нему как раз побежала. Посмотрим.
Your Excellency.
Lady de Sade.
I would like to talk to you about a rather delicate matter.
I am listening.
A couple of historians have made a recent discovery concerning Matthias, the founder of the mythical Teleme, and it seems that this is not to the liking of the illuminated, or at least his more fervent subjects.
These sinister hypocrites are going to want to burn them at the stake.
Without a doubt. And that's why these poor people are begging you to offer them asylum.
We are willing. Where are they to be found at this time?
At the port of Serene. They were hoping to stow away discreetly on a vessel to Al-Sad.
Very well. I shall send an escort immediately to take them somewhere safe.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Все, он сказал, что с распростертыми объятиями. Предоставит убежище и охрану.
We are eternally grateful. It was nothing. I hope you won't have too much difficulty adapting to your new country.
If you would allow me, I would like to give you this. It's not much, but it is all that we possess.
Бедно, уж чтоб себе оставили.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burn.
Этот выразился: у тебя доброе сердце, оно тебя погубит. Таких сжигали на костре.
Ну что, тебе осталось открытие?
Ну, вот я сейчас иду говорить с дилеммой, что, мол, типа, я их упустила. Простите, извините. Они убежали.
Good day, Excellence.
Lady de Sardet, to what do I owe the pleasure?
It pains me to inform you that the heretics you seek have fled.
Curse them! How could that possibly have happened?
Alas, these renegades have found protection with the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. I would not have been able to capture them without risking a diplomatic incident that my uncle would have condemned.
The bridge. I thought as much. Those heretics have turned to them. But I had hoped that you might intervene quickly enough to stop them. It is truly regrettable. We have nothing else to do but pray that the Luminous might shield us from their lies.
I must be going.
Так, ну вроде отношения не испортили. Конечно, он нас не похвалил, что мы не успели их схватить, но, по крайней мере, этот и не объявил нам, что мы такие-сякие плохие. Итак, мы закончили в городе со всеми делами, судя по всему. Знаков вопросиков я не вижу. И от заданий, кроме торжественного отъезда, тоже не вижу. Вот. В принципе, на этом все. Так, ну, в следующей серии отъезд, и, наконец-то, мы увидим остров. По крайней мере, я на это надеюсь, что ничего не случится. Всем спасибо, и до новых встреч!